Welcome to Max Life, Man, your essential YouTube channel, expertly led by our top expert, Dr. Sterling Thorne. I'm here with my top team from the prestigious Evergreen Peaks Institute. Men's health is our battlefield, and for decades we've been in the trenches. What you get here isn't theory. It's the playbook forged from real victories, real scars, and real men who refuse to let age call the shots. Gentlemen, picture this. It's morning. The bathroom mirror's got that fogged-up halo from the shower. You wipe it clear, and there he is. The man you think you know, but lately you've been asking yourself, what happened? Where's the strength that used to carry you through the day? The stamina, that spark in your eyes when you looked at yourself and thought, I've still got it. If you're over 40, you've felt the shift. Over 50, you've lived it. Over 60, you know it like a second skin. You train hard, maybe harder than you did in your 20s. But the scale doesn't budge. Your abs after 40 hide under a layer that seems welded in place, and your recovery feels more like repair work than rejuvenation. Here's the truth no one likes to say out loud. Most men over 40, over 50, over 60 are still swinging the same rusty weapons they used at 25. The trouble is, the battlefield has changed. Your hormonal landscape, different terrain, recovery time, longer metabolic efficiency, lower, and if you don't adapt, you're not just stalling progress, you're grinding down the machine. That's why today I'm handing you the blueprint, the real-world map to reclaiming muscle after 40, muscle after 50, even muscle after 60, to dropping belly fat without losing strength, to increasing testosterone naturally so your body starts working for you, not against you. We'll cover workouts for men at home, in the gym, the right cardio for men that shreds fat without wrecking your joints, and the recovery tactics that keep your testosterone high, your waistline trim, and your energy sharp enough to cut glass. So before we get into it, do yourself a favor. Hit that like button. Not because I asked, but because every time you do, you're telling the algorithm, the world, and most importantly, yourself, I'm still in the fight. Why testosterone is your lifeline. Men's health isn't just about filling out a shirt. It's about the hormone that powers the man inside it. Testosterone isn't just a number on a blood test. It's the master key. When it's high, you build muscle, burn fat, keep your edge in the bedroom, think sharper, move faster. When it's low, and it will dip after 30 unless you fight for it, your system shifts from performance mode to storage mode. Your body starts saving energy instead of spending it. You get softer, slower, and the drive that used to pull you out of bed in the morning fades. But here's where most guys get it wrong. They think the fix comes in a syringe, a pill, or a tub of miracle powder. Wrong. Boost testosterone starts with what you do every day, your training, your food, your sleep, your stress. Want to increase testosterone naturally, then earn it. Lift heavy 3-4 times a week. Keep your workouts intense but short enough to leave you wanting more. Eat fats that feed your hormones, olive oil, avocados, grass-fed meats. Manage your stress like it's your blood pressure. And get sunlight not just for vitamin D, but for the signal it sends your body. Be alive, be awake, be ready. No capsule on the shelf can outdo the basics. And no man over 40, 50, or 60 should hand over his vitality to Father Time without a fight. Abs after 40, the truth. Men, let's settle something once and for all. Abs after 40 is not a fairy tale whispered in locker rooms. It's not reserved for actors with personal chefs or athletes with 8 hours a day to train. It's a method, a discipline, a way of living that any man can claim if he's willing to play the long game and play it smart. But first, we need to strip away the myths that keep men over 40 stuck. You've heard them. You need to starve yourself. Cardio is the only way. It's just genetics. No, the truth is simpler and sharper. You don't need to live on chicken breast and lettuce, but you do need to respect the chemistry of your own body. Let me give you an image. Picture your metabolism as a campfire. When you were 20, you could throw in a soggy log and it would still roar to life. Over 40, that fire burns slower, and it only responds to the right fuel at the right time. That's why abs after 40 isn't about punishing cardio marathons. It's about controlling insulin spikes, balancing your protein intake, and feeding your body in a way that lets it tap into stored fat without cannibalizing muscle. I've worked with hundreds of men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. Let me tell you about one, David, 54, former college swimmer. Came into my office frustrated, saying, "Doc, I'm eating clean, I'm training, but this gut is bulletproof." I swear it laughs at me. When we looked at his diet, his problem wasn't willpower, it was timing. He was loading carbs in the evening, spiking insulin right before bed. That one shift, moving carbs earlier, focusing on protein-heavy dinners, started changing his midsection within weeks. And here's the second truth most men miss. Crunches won't carve your abs if there's still a layer of fat covering them. You need full-body training to build enough muscle mass to raise your resting metabolism. That means your body burns more calories even when you're sitting in traffic. The hormone connection. For men over 40, the six-pack struggle isn't just about calories in and out. It's a hormonal equation. Low testosterone makes fat storage easier, especially in the midsection. High cortisol from constant stress keeps your body in store energy, don't release it mode. Add poor sleep into the mix and you've got the perfect storm. That's why every ab program I design for men over 40 starts with 3 pillars. Resistance training to signal your body. Keep the muscle, burn the fat. Nutrition that balances blood sugar and feeds testosterone production. Recovery that keeps cortisol in check and hormones balanced. Get those 3 working together and your abs will follow. Audience challenge, the 21-day core reset. Here's my challenge to you. For the next 21 days, cut processed sugar to under 25 g per day, train with weights 3 times a week, and walk for 30 minutes daily. Drop a comment right now with 21-day core reset if you're in. I'll be checking the comments and calling a few of you out in a future video. Workouts for men to lose belly fat. Let's get real. Belly fat after 40 is more than a vanity issue. It's dangerous. Visceral fat, the kind that wraps around your organs, is a silent killer. It's linked to heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and low testosterone. But here's what they don't tell you: for men over 40, belly fat is as much about hormones as it is about food. Why traditional cardio fails you. Most men think the solution is to burn it off by pounding the treadmill for an hour. The problem? Long, steady-state cardio in excess can actually lower testosterone and signal your body to hold onto fat as a survival mechanism. That's why I tell my guys, cardio is a scalpel, not a sledgehammer. The science of fat loss over 40. When testosterone is lower, your body is less efficient at using stored fat for energy. Add in years of elevated cortisol from career stress, and your system is primed to hold fat in the midsection. The fix: combine strength training to build muscle and signal testosterone production with HIIT cardio that spikes your metabolism without eating into muscle mass. The Sterling Thorne Belly Fat Protocol. Day 1, full body strength. Focus on compound lifts, squats, bench press, deadlifts, pull-ups. 8-12 reps, 3-4 sets each, moderate to heavy weight. Day 2 cardio intervals, bike or rower, 20 seconds all-out sprint, 40 seconds slow recovery, repeat for 10 rounds, finish with a 5-minute cool down. Day 3 active recovery. Light mobility work, yoga, walking, keep cortisol low. Day 4 upper body strength, overhead press, barbell rows, incline dumbbell press, tricep dips. Day 5 lower body plus core finishers, front squats, Romanian deadlifts, weighted step-ups. Finish with planks, hanging leg raises, or ab wheel rollouts. Day 6 steady-state cardio, 45-60 minutes brisk walking, swimming, or cycling, keeps the metabolism moving without stress overload. Day 7 rest, no guilt, recovery is training. Case study: the 62-year-old transformation. Paul came to me at 62 with a mission: lose 30 pounds of fat, get his blood pressure under control, and keep up with his grandkids. We swapped his nightly glass of whiskey for herbal tea, got him lifting 3 times a week, and added 2 HIIT sessions. In 6 months, he'd lost the belly, gained visible muscle, and his words, not mine, Finally felt like the grandpa my grandkids think I am. Your turn comment challenge. If you're serious about losing belly fat, comment "no more gut" below. Let me know your age and your biggest challenge. I'll pick 3 of you to feature in a future Max Life Q&A. Cardio for men that works. Let's be honest, gentlemen, most of you have a love-hate relationship with cardio, or maybe just hate. The treadmill feels like a hamster wheel designed by a sadist. And if you've ever slogged through an hour on the elliptical, you know the mental torture I'm talking about. But here's the truth. Cardio isn't about grinding your knees into dust or punishing yourself for last night's pizza. Done right, it's a tool, sharp, precise, and made for men over 40, 50, even 60 who want to strip fat, strengthen the heart, and boost testosterone instead of draining it. Yes, boost testosterone. The wrong cardio hours of long, slow endurance work can actually lower testosterone over time, but the right kind. It's like sending your body a signal that says, stay strong, stay lean, stay ready. So what's right look like? It's simple, low-impact, joint-friendly, time-efficient. My top picks: incline walking, 20-30 minutes, moderate pace, heart rate in the fat-burning zone. Cycling, outdoors if you can. Stationary if you must, mixing steady pace with short sprints. Rowing, full body, low impact, and a testosterone-friendly calorie burner. Swimming, gentle on the joints, brutal on body fat. Sled pushes, short, explosive, and addictive once you feel the burn. Do this 2-3 times a week, paired with your resistance training, and you'll see your endurance climb, your waistline shrink, and your overall vitality jump. Case in point, Gary, 58, came to me swearing cardio was for skinny guys and marathon runners. He was lifting 5 days a week, but his belly wouldn't budge. We added 2 20-minute incline walking sessions and 1 rowing day. 6 weeks later, he dropped 12 pounds without touching his diet. And his blood pressure, back in the healthy range for the first time in a decade. Audience check-in. Drop a comment right now. Are you team cardio or cardio skeptic? I want to know your weapon of choice: bike, rower, pool, or pavement. Building muscle after 40, 50, and 60. Here's the part most men secretly worry about. Doc, am I too old to build muscle? My answer, said with a straight face every time, is only if you're too old to pick up a fork and chew. Building muscle after 40, it takes more precision. After 50, more patience. After 60, more recovery, but possible, absolutely. I've seen men in their late 70s add lean muscle and strength that put their 30-year-old selves to shame. The muscle monsters myth. Yes, the internet is full of muscle monsters, 250-pound giants with veins like road maps. Many of them are chemically enhanced. But the natural version of that exists, and it's far more sustainable. You won't be mistaken for a pro bodybuilder, but you can be the ripped grandpa who turns heads at the beach and commands respect in the gym. The man whose handshake feels like confidence itself. The 3 laws of muscle at any age. Prioritize strength training. Lift heavy enough to challenge yourself, but smart enough to avoid injury. Compound lifts, squats, presses, rows, pull-ups, build the kind of strength that shows. Eat enough protein. The magic number, 0. 1 gram per pound of your goal weight. Without it, you're just exercising, not building. Recover like it's your job. Over 40, your muscles don't grow in the gym, they grow in the hours you don't train. Sleep 7-8 hours. Take rest days seriously. Manage stress so your hormones stay on your side. Story from the floor. Tom, 63, hadn't touched a weight in 15 years. His doctor told him he was too old for lifting heavy. We started him on bodyweight moves, slowly added dumbbells, then barbells. 12 months later, he deadlifted 275 pounds, and his wife said, "I feel like I'm married to the younger version of you." Your next move. If you're ready to build muscle, drop a comment with your age and your favorite lift. And if you don't have one yet, by the end of this year, you will. Live anabolic, not anemic. Live anabolic isn't just a catchy phrase some guy slapped on a t-shirt. It's a philosophy. It's a way of carrying yourself in every decision, every meal, every workout, every night's sleep. To live anabolic means you make choices that build you up instead of breaking you down. Most men, especially over 40, live on autopilot. They eat what's easy, skip the workout because life is busy, stay up late because I deserve some downtime, and then wonder why they're tired, soft, and restless. That's living anemic, drained, reactive, just getting through the day. Living anabolic is the opposite. It's deliberate. You train with intensity, eat with purpose, rest with intention. And here's the best part, your body always responds. At 25, at 55, at 75, the human body is unbelievably adaptable if you give it the right stimulus. Case story, 2 paths. I had 2 clients start with me the same week, Mark, 48, and Alan, 52. Both had similar starting points, 20 pounds overweight, low energy, aches in the knees. Mark said, "Doc, I just want to feel decent again." Alan said, "Doc, I want to live anabolic." Mark trained hard for a month, then skipped a week, then 2. Ate mostly okay, but didn't track or plan. 6 months later, he was down 6 pounds, but still felt tired. Alan, he didn't miss a session. He prepped his meals every Sunday. He got off his phone by 10 p.m. every night. He treated every rep like it mattered. 6 months later, he was 18 pounds lighter, stronger than he'd been in 20 years, and his words, hungry for more. The difference wasn't genetics, it was philosophy. Audience prompt. In the comments, I want you to write one thing you'll start doing today to live anabolic. Not next Monday, not after the holidays. Today. The over 40/50/60 advantage. When you're 25, it's easy to take health for granted. You skip workouts and bounce back. You eat garbage and still wake up with abs. You pull all-nighters and your body doesn't protest. At that age, the margin for error is huge, and that's exactly why most men waste it. But when you're over 40, that margin shrinks and suddenly you notice every choice, every rep counts. Every meal either fuels you or fogs you. Every morning you wake up without pain feels like a win. Over 50, you've learned discipline. You've seen enough setbacks to know that consistency beats intensity. You're not chasing the high of a single workout. You're building the habit that carries you through decades. Over 60, you've mastered patience and consistency. You understand recovery as part of training. You train smarter, not just harder. You know a 45-minute focused session is worth more than 3 hours of unfocused grinding. Real-life example, James, 67. James started lifting at 63. He told me, "Doc, I can't train like the young guys." I said, "Good, you shouldn't." We built a program around shorter sessions, more warm-up, perfect form, and plenty of rest days. In 4 years, James went from struggling with bodyweight squats to deadlifting 225 pounds for reps. He moves like a man 20 years younger, not because he ignored his age, but because he worked with it. The mindset edge. Youth gives you energy, age gives you wisdom, and wisdom applied to training is like compound interest in finance. The returns get bigger, faster, and more reliable over time. That's the over 40/50/60 advantage. You're not guessing anymore. You know what works for your body. You've learned how to say no to what doesn't serve you. You don't need to find motivation. You've built it into your identity. Audience prompt. If you're over 40, tell me in the comments, what's the biggest thing you've learned about your body in the last decade? I read these, and I promise your answer might be the one that helps another man in this community. Identity, becoming the ripped grandpa. This isn't about vanity. This is about identity. When you walk into a room with broad shoulders, a lean waist, and energy in your step, people notice. But more importantly, you notice. You stand taller, you shake hands firmer. You meet people's eyes with confidence. That's not just muscle. That's a man who knows he's put in the work. The ripped grandpa idea isn't a joke. It's a statement. It's saying, I didn't let the world decide what a man my age should look like. It's showing your kids and your grandkids that strength and vitality don't have an expiration date. Case story, Paul, 61. Paul's daughter got married last year. He told me, "Doc, I want to walk her down the aisle and look like the man she's always looked up to." We trained for 10 months. On her wedding day, Paul was down 30 pounds, had a suit tailored to his new frame, and when he walked her down the aisle, she whispered, "Dad, you look amazing." He told me later it was one of the proudest moments of his life. Why identity matters more than willpower. If you think of yourself as a guy trying to lose weight, you'll fight temptation every day. But if you become a man who takes care of his body, the decisions get easier. It's not a struggle to skip dessert, it's just not what you do. It's not a chore to go to the gym, it's just part of who you are. The ripple effect. When you live this way, you're not just changing yourself. You're changing how people see aging. You're giving younger men a vision of what's possible. And you're proving to everyone around you that discipline, strength, and health aren't just for the young, they are for the committed. Audience prompt. Comment "Ripped Grandpa" below if you're chasing that title, whether you're already there or starting today. I'll be looking for those comments, and you might just get a shout out in our next episode.